Hi everyone, how are you doing today? I've been a little bit proactive today and actually came up with a topic for today's show beforehand and created everything I needed for that, like graphic and stuff. So this is something I am playing with, being more proactive in things like this. So today's topic I chose to play with is Are You Source? And I chose this topic because this is something I play myself with myself in my business and in my life, and it's about being source of everything in your life. And because most of us, especially me, most of us are really not taught in life. Actually, you can hear me. We are not taught that we are the source of everything. We are taught that we have to rely on something, or we are taught that we are dependent on something, like our parents, or employers, or schools, or teachers. Basically, everyone around us instead of ourselves. And then we kind of uh, unlearn it because we don't come into our lives with this um, notion that someone else is responsible for us or someone else is a source of everything in our lives. And when we are and so we are taught it throughout our lives. Every time someone reminds us that, especially if parents take care of us in our first years of our lives, we kind of learn it. Especially my parents, uh, they always kind of looked after me. In the same time, they actually never let me kind of decide and choose on my options. They kind of decided everything for me. So I pretty much learned not to make my own decisions. I expected someone else to um, tell me what I need to do. And the same, uh, and because of that, kind of employment and working for someone was kind of really good idea for me, because when the employer says something to do, you just do it and everyone is happy. But if you are not actually, if that thing is not your natural way of being, it becomes really hard to do it. Like, it was really hard for me to sit all day in the office and not and wait for someone else to tell me, even though I actually preferred at the time when someone tells me what I need to do. So it kind of dulls your decision making, and it kind of dulls your choice making choices in your life. And especially when you become adult, you are by yourself, especially if you're not married and you don't have children, like I do. I live by myself in middle of nowhere, so there's no one to tell me what I need to do or what I should do, even though my mom still calls me and tells me things I need to do. But at the same time, I don't really have anyone to tell me that. And then I used to go into this. It's almost like it's not like that, but like, and as an example, can you imagine like a robot who is just sitting on in the corner and waiting for someone to give it a command? And so there was a point in my life when I was like that, but there was no one else, no one to really tell me what I needed to do. So it was like really awkward and weird way of living. I remember many years ago when I still was living in UK. I was working in a wine shop. So pretty much all my life revolved around that. I was going to work and was coming home, and all day long I was actually just, I don't know, watching TV shows like Friends or Law and Order. Oh, sorry. And I didn't really know what to do the rest of the time. because it was easy. My command was to go to work, do whatever your boss is saying to you, and then I go home. And then I don't know what to do with myself. There were like lots of things I wanted to do, but I never really know what I want to do. I knew I wanted to get out of like a job department. I wanted to have my own business because I didn't like what I do. Well, it was okay, but it wasn't like my passion or anything. So I got into the online marketing. But to to have an online not online marketing, online business, you have to have this drive that drives you, and you are the one who makes decisions. You are the one who creates stuff. But when you live in that program that someone else have to tell you what you need to do, and someone else is kind of source of your living and your money, it kind of becomes like this weird um, push and pull thing when you kind of go into one end of the, I'm not really sure what the word is, but um, you kind of push yourself to do something, and then you pull yourself out of it, and then you for like, it used to go for days and weeks. Used to just like literally come back from work, watch some TV shows and go to sleep. Wake up, go to work, come back, make myself some food. Because that's another thing. You're kind of told you have to eat something. So you just do it because you just do it, not because it's kind of your choice. And the same becomes with money. If your employer regularly gives you money, you kind of make that employer a source of your money. And when you start to when you become a business owner, you are the one who is employer. You are employer and employee at the same time. And if you have never learned that you are the source of your money, you're the source of your life, your source of a relationship or anything else, then you don't really know what to do with yourself. And for me, it like for a really long time, it was a problem because I was never one of those people who pushes through things and who actually wants to. I knew I wanted to create something, but at the same time, I wanted someone else to do it for me because I didn't believe I'm the source of what I'm creating. I'm playing with like for last 5 years. I think it's 5 years. Yeah, 6 years since I've been playing with access consciousness tools. I kind of started to become that. I start to become the source of my own life, source of my own money, source of my own relationship, source of pretty much everything that um, comes into my life, instead of someone else being that for me. And for last couple weeks, I've been actually playing with the idea to become actually, because there are still like a little piece that I'm still looking for someone else to do something for me. Like it's not about paying someone to do something for you, because there are things that like, let's say, if Richard Branson was doing his if Richard Branson was doing every single thing in his business, he would never become a billionaire. Because unless he, yeah, but because you have to delegate work, you have to give uh, something, you have to pay for some things to be done. Otherwise, you're just gonna lose yourself. You're not gonna come up with ideas because you will be constantly instituting things. It's not about that. It's more about that you would rather sleep on the sofa because it's the only thing you do, and watch reruns of Friends or Law and Order, and expect just like money and business and everything just fall on top of your head. And because there is like a difference between that. And I'm so grateful that I can now give some tasks to someone else to do, and I can teach someone else to do how I do my business. At the same time, I'm looking of becoming like 110% source of whatever is coming into my life, because otherwise waiting for something or someone else you are not the choosing one, you are a chosen one. And I think I mentioned in one of the previous recordings about this, is when you are, oh, I'm sorry. So when you are being a choosing one, you are in kind of control of whatever is coming to you. But when you are a chosen one, like when you're waiting for Prince to save you in a tall, high castle to kiss you and you can live happily ever after, it's you are constantly in a waiting position. You are actually not creating anything. And once you get out of this like waiting mode or being a chosen one mode, it's kind of everything starts to kind of happen. Everything you kind of wish for is started to happen, because just it's like many years ago when the movie Secret came out first. That was one of the traps, like I probably many others fell into, that you just have to sit and visualize things and everything's just gonna come to you. And you don't really need to put any work, you don't really need to take any action. Everything is gonna come to you just because you sit there and visualize things. And so where are you in your life, not being the choosing one and but being the chosen one? And if you really wanna, if you are not already there, if you are still where kind in the same position I am, just start looking at where you are already sourced and where you decided you are not the source, someone else is the source. Because oh sorry, because I'm gonna be playing with this until I get it, until I really get it. Like I like that is a part of me, and because it's not kind of fun when everything is goes like this. You kind of going up, you kind of push yourself to do something, and then you pull out, and you push something yourself up, and then you pull yourself down. And the same way, I notice my as well my business goes. There are months that are really good, especially money wise, and there are months where it's not that good. And because once you are the choosing one, you can choose whatever. You just choose and you go. You choose and go. You choose and go. For me, it's sometimes at the moment it's still like some days I'm choosing one, and some days I'm a chosen one, and it goes like that. And it stopped, and it doesn't work for me anymore. And that's why I wanna invite you as well to become the source of whatever of everything you are creating. And I want to be I am yeah, I'm going to be playing with I be the source. I be the source. Like what I love about access consciousness is that they taught me to live by the question and to actually use their tools to change energy and everything around the thing that is not working for me. And after a while it's not there anymore. Oh, I'm sorry. So I'm actually, invite you. I'm going to be playing with IB source. It's it's not that I am source, because when you say I am, you are kind of solidifying it into the something, and it stays. Like, for example, you always you have some kind of perception or some kind of idea, opinion, what um, source is. And when you say it, I'm source, you are solidifying in that moment that idea what source is for you. But when you do I be source, it's basically it, because the be is the action word. It's a verb, to be. I am is not the verb. Well, kind of is, but it's energetically is not the action word. I'm not talking now from grammatical point of view, but from energetical point of view. Because when you say I am, it is. That's all you are at that moment. And when you solidify something, you can't. It's not. It stops moving, and you go with that point of view until you decide to change it. So instead of saying I am source, I be source. I be source. It sounds funny when you say it very fast. I be source. I be source. So yeah, look at your like life and business where you are not being source of your own life and business and living and everything. And is it? Oh, so sorry. Or is there anything you would like to change about it? Because I definitely do want to change about it. So thank you very much for watching or listening, and have fun finding out what source you are being. Bye bye.